Now back to Radio Noon.
Thanks very much, Joanne Bailey. My name's Shawn Apel, and today on Radio Noon, we're asking you about the Publisac. What do you think of the Publisac? Some people would like to see it disappear. Some people wait for it really eagerly every week. How do you feel about that Publisac that gets delivered probably to your door every week? 514-597-4500.
Hear my plea, won't take pity. I just can't get to know a soul in this city. Take my hand, now won't you free me? Got to find a girl that's willing to see me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, deliver. Misery, don't you just see
12:32. We're going to get back to your phone calls right now. The toll-free number, 1-877-597-4500. Harriet is on the phone from Sherbrooke. Hi, Harriet.
Hi.
What did you want to talk about?
Yes, I want to talk about the Publisac.
Oh, good. Well, you've come to the right place. Yeah.
People that they are on a pension really enjoy going through the Publisac because some item from one store to another, it's a very big difference on prices, and that's the only way we can save money. And what it concerns the bag, they should put some paper bag, and put the Publisac inside. So like that, they would be destroyed. And we do have the green ban every 2 weeks that they pick it up. The city used those green ban with paper inside for recycling for the city, like for making some fertilizer for the summer. And I think that if that thing goes away, this is one way we save, then we're going to spend on another place. And then tax maybe will go up or stuff like that because, people, they don't know how, they won't be able to save money by looking at the Publisac and go from one store to another or sometimes just to the same store and have the same special.
So what if they made a change so that if you wanted to keep getting it, you had to sort of subscribe to it the way that it works with a newspaper?
I think the people, they have, like my neighbors has a stamp on his mailbox and he never received any Publisac.
Right.
So this is really respected.
But
I don't know if other
people
they have problem with that, but they have a number on the bag and you should call there, and then those people, they do take care of the one who doesn't want to receive the Publisac.
And you do like it for you, and it sounds like it's really useful to you. Thank you for the call. Let's stay on the phone lines here. We'll come back to Montreal, and Stefan's on the line. Hi, Stefan.
Hi.
What did you want to talk about?
Yeah, so I choose not to pick with go with the Publisac. The main reason, I don't think that it's an environmental, that the main reason or the main problem is the environmental. I think that the main problem is the choice. I mean, you can choose to want the Publisac and still be environmentally friendly. So to split people on the environmental question, I think is it kind of defeats the question. It kind of doesn't get to the real bottom of it. I think that Publisac could send a sticker to everyone, and those who choose and those who want to make it or get it, then they choose to put the sticker on their mailbox. Those who do not don't have to do anything with the sticker. And again, I think that it comes back to choosing who chooses to recycle or not. Well, Publisac is telling us that they're offloading the choice onto the customer, and I think that then obviously is it's another problem. The other thing is I think that Publisac probably makes a lot more money by sending out a lot more bags out there. So I guess I'm questioning as to, well, they have a vested interest in getting as much people or as large a distribution, just like Super Bowl says, we're going to charge $2 million per 30 seconds because we have 2.5 billion viewers. Publisac probably charges according to their distribution. And so,
yeah, I mean, I don't know if you were listening when I spoke to the person from Transcontinental. I asked them about some of the numbers, and they would not divulge any, which is understandable. But yeah, it probably makes sense that the more they distribute, the more they make from the deal. I would say that probably nobody would dispute that. Thank you for the call. Phone number here, 514-597-4500. Toll free 1-877-597-4500. And again, the text line, 514-566-9066. We will get back to the phone calls in a second. I still have with me in studio Charles Montpetit. He's here for the hour, and he lives in Rosemont. Not a big fan of the Publisac, and I know, Charles Montpetit, that you wanted to respond to more of what you were hearing from Transcontinental, so I promised you a little bit more time. You can have a little bit of that time right now before we get back to the calls.
Okay. About their statement that the plastic bag is necessary for distributing the Publisac, it's not, because the regulations, at least in Montreal, which is where we are asking people to react and push the city for a change, the regulation of the city says that the Publisac has to be put in the mailbox, not dumped on your front step. And even if it has a plastic bag, well, a soaked plastic bag still soaks all the circulars inside. If you put it in the mailbox like the regulation says, you could use a paper envelope like any other mail that you receive. And the thing is, they do infractions like that to the rules of the city of Montreal. I counted more than 5,000 of them in 24 days of distribution. Got pictures of it, shown them to the city of Montreal, and the city will not act on it.
You counted infractions. What do you mean?
I actually went around my neighborhood and photographed all the infractions, the ill-delivered Publisacs that were littered all over the place or given to places that had stickers. It's a major problem when you can find...
You walked around your neighborhood and took more than 5,000 photos?
Yes. And I've shared them with the city of Montreal to demonstrate how pervasive the problem is. So when they say that if you put up a sticker, they will abide by it, no, they don't. And the city has publicly said that they will not enforce the law, which is why we want the law to be changed.
City says they are going to consult on the Publisac. If we have some time, we'll play just a little bit of tape that we got from Jean-François Parenteau, who is responsible for the environment file with the executive committee. We won't play that now because I do want to get back to callers here. We got lots of callers. Phone number is 514-597-4500. And we'll go to Pointe Claire right now. Marta is on the line. Hi there.
Hello. Thank you for accepting my call. I actually was going to say the same thing as the previous person that you were interviewing. I, too, see a lot of infractions, and I started photographing them. I called up my city hall, which is where I got my sticker for my own house, and I was told that they can't do anything about the fact that there are infractions, and I said, well, I have a sticker, and I still get Publisac delivered to my house. Not that often, and recently not very much. But what really irks me, which is why I'm calling, is the fact that in order to prevent the delivery people from walking down my driveway to deliver it or find out that I have a sticker, I got an extra arrow. It's about 1 foot long, and it's a decorative arrow out of metal that points to the sticker. It doesn't help. I was told by the city security or public security that I have to catch the person actually leaving the sack on my porch because they throw it, and then they will be able to pursue the company through the courts.
That's the only way that they could do anything.
That's right. The other thing that I've noticed, because I live in the suburbs, is that many of us have long driveways, and the delivery people can't be bothered walking up the driveway to find a sticker and then walking back with the same amount of Publisacs under their arm. So what they're doing is that they're hanging them on the snow delivery or snow removal signs at the top of the driveway. So you walk along the streets here in this city, and if you have a long driveway, like I believe they deliver on Wednesdays here in this area, there are Publisacs hanging on the top of every second driveway because they're not going to deliver it to the door, whether the people want it or not. So I totally agree with the environment. That's the reason I'm so irked about this whole thing. That
and do you look at circulars online?
Nope. Online occasionally. Yes, I do. And I respect people who would like to get them, but I do believe that they should subscribe to the whole service rather than waiting for it to be delivered.
Well, thank you so much for the call. It's really good to speak with you. Phone number here, 514-597-4500. Let's hop back to the phone lines right now. We're going to Saint Laurent. Michelle is there. Hi, Michelle.
Hi there.
So how do you feel about the Publisac?
Well, there's a lot of issues raised right now from the previous callers, and I can understand if you're not using it, but the point is people are used to it, and to turn it into a subscription issue is kind of a big deal for a lot of people. Won't go out of their way, maybe, I don't know, but I feel Publisac is kind of a lifeline for a lot of people. Like, people depend on it, a lot of poor people.
Depend on it.
Budget yourself on it.
To see what's on special.
Yeah. And me, on my side, I totally recycle everything. It's so recyclable. Not only that, I use it for compost. Because if you notice, we're not very equipped for composting, but the Publisac serves me. Whatever I don't use, I use it to wrap my leftovers, and it goes beautifully in the compost like that.
And so the part that's not for wrapping leftovers, tell me how you use it.
That goes straight to the recycling bin, or it goes usually like I cook with it, like
No, I mean before that step, when you're looking through it, how do you actually use it?
I select the ones that I need. I select the ones, but that changes occasionally.
Yeah.
And then I put it back until the week is over, and then that's it. I discard it, and a lot of it goes in compost, actually. I finish the whole thing in compost, and the leftover goes in the recycling bin, and the plastic, goes in the garbage.
Okay, well, thank you so much for calling. It's really good to hear from you. Thanks for calling in. Phone number again, 514-597-4500. Coming up, we will speak soon, in the next 10 minutes or so, because we only have about 15 minutes, with someone from Equiterre, the environmental group, see how they feel about it. Right now, happy to have you along for the discussion. We're talking about the Publisac. Phone number is 514-597-4500. And we'll go back to the phones right now. We'll go to Point Claire out in the West Island again, and Doug's on the line. Hi, Doug.
Hi, Sean. Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks.
A couple points to make. First one, a lot of people have been talking about putting stickers on, but how about a suggestion like the cities and municipalities making a law that says that Publisac has to put in stickers into the bag, a few times a year, 2, 3, 4 times a year, sort of thing, so people don't have to, go out of their way, and it becomes a more formal process of having people to opt out.
Yeah, a possibility. Charles Montpetit, what would you think of that if the sticker were in the bag a few times a year?
It would...
Hang on, we'll turn on your microphone. There you go. Yep.
It would still be a way to place the blame on the consumer, saying if it doesn't suit you, it's your job to get rid of it. And the problem is, even when you do put a sticker on, they don't always are respected. So borough authorities, like the previous caller said, are not doing anything about it. Some of them have said on tape that they will not place fines on the companies, and the companies know it. Therefore, the sticker is an illusory protection. It does not necessarily work, and the company knows it.
So what do you think of that?
Well, it is what it is. I mean, to me, it's there's all different people. People, some people want to, are willing to do it online. Some people want to do, have the paper, and it's just, that was just a suggestion. The other thing which I haven't heard discussed is, because a lot of people get concerned saying that, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose my Publisac, or at least the information and the great deals in that is like talk about alternatives as to how people can get their flyers. And myself, there's an app that I use. It's called Flip. People should check that out. And basically all the, once you put in your geographical location, it's going to basically give you all the flyers that would be in your Publisac, plus even other ones. You can, favorite them, so that, the ones that you're most interested are easy to access. So I think it's a really great alternative. It's probably even better than getting the paper version.
It's also kind of neat because let's say you are looking for orange juice, right? You can search for orange juice and see where somebody has it on special. Yeah, but on the other hand, you have to sort of it takes a little bit of time, I guess, a few seconds to.
Well, it takes a couple seconds to download the app. So I mean, just take a look. Go into I use Apple. Go into the Apple Store. It's Flip, FLIPP, and actually myself, there's been a few stores in the area, smaller ones that they didn't have the flyers. You can just send in a suggestion sort of thing, and they've added them. So, it's I think it's a great alternative.
Oh, yeah, that's really good. Thanks so much for the call and for the suggestions. Phone number here, 514-597-4500, or toll free, it's 1-877-597-4500. How do you feel about the Publisac that ends up in your mailbox or on your doorstep?
Out on your doorstep, you're gonna let me come in. I've come a long way, will you welcome? I stay until the morning. I need the time. If I can't be here, then it must be out on your doorstep. Gonna let me come in. I've come a long
12:48. This is Radio Noon. Let's talk to Sidney Ribault. He's the executive director and co-founder of Equiterre. Sidney Ribault, hi there. Welcome to the program.
Hello, Sean.
Tell me how you feel about the Publisac.
Well, Equiterre's position on that has always been the same. I mean, we support the petition that's online right now, and that's asking that we basically reverse the onus and basically say, if you want it, then you can have a sticker that says, I'm willing to receive it, rather than put the onus on the consumer to say, I don't want to have it.
We're hearing from a lot of people who are saying, yeah, but it is totally recyclable. Well, the company says it's recyclable. And from people who are saying, well, I recycle every part of it. I recycle the plastics with the plastic. I recycle the paper with the paper. Some people say they compost it. So people are saying, what's the problem?
Yeah. So there's, obviously we've been talking about the 3 R's for a long time, but we focused only on the last R. So the 3 R's are reduce, reuse, and then, what you can't reduce or reuse, you should recycle. And in this case, this is clearly an example of something we should be reducing. Why? Because when you recycle, you're still having an environmental impact. You still have to produce the paper in the first place. There's actually a big environmental impact of picking up the recycling and bringing it to the recycling center. And then there's the last part, which is problematic right now, which is, what are we doing with the paper? And it's becoming more complicated to actually recycle the paper for all sorts of reasons. So there are many issues with recycling. So of course, for things that you absolutely need to use, then of course, when you're done with it and you've reused it, then you should recycle it. But anything that we can reduce, that's what's going to have the biggest environmental impact.
So better if it doesn't get produced in the first place.
Of course, there is an environmental impact of producing paper. There's energy that's used. There's greenhouse gas emissions that are emitted, and so even if you're recycling it, there's still an environmental impact. And then the question we have to ask ourselves is, do we really need this? A few years ago, when we were asking the same question with respect to the yellow pages and the white pages, it's not so long ago that, we were distributing to every single household these, huge stacks of paper with phone numbers that, people weren't using that much anymore because of internet. But the companies were saying, but people are still consulting them and people still need them. And we've stopped distributing them, and I haven't seen any demonstrations in the streets with people saying, like, we absolutely need to get the yellow pages back, right? Because we have alternatives now, and we should be looking to those alternatives.
Sydney Rebo, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Sydney Rebo, the executive director and co-founder of Equiterre. This is Radio Noon. We're talking about the Publisac today. I'm here in studio with Charles Montpetit. Now, Sydney Rebo referred to a petition that's online. Charles Montpetit is involved with that petition. Right at the end of the show, Charles Montpetit, we will tell people about it. Right now, I want to get back to the phones. Let's go to Côte-des-Neiges. Josh is on the line. Hi, Josh.
Hi. Since I'm not independently wealthy and every dollar counts, I like the Publisac and I want to keep it. And since I do not have home internet and I do not want to be required to go searching for free Wi-Fi so that I can see whether I take the bus to go east to IGA or west to Provigo, the Publisac is what I need.
That makes a lot of sense. How would you feel if the way that you showed that you wanted it changed so that you had to basically subscribe to it? You had to sort of tell someone you wanted it instead of telling someone you don't want it.
Well, if you live in an apartment building, who is going to be authorized to request delivery to the building's Publisac lobby box?
And is that the case for you? Are you in a building where it ends up in the lobby?
No, there's a lobby box where the Publisac is inserted, each individual flyer. No plastic bags whatsoever.
Just the paper, okay.
The paper inside the box. There's a multi-level box with shelves on it that the Publisac has provided. And each week they put in each flyer individually. So there's like a stack of Provigo flyers, a stack of IGA flyers, a stack of Metro flyers, and each individual person in the lobby can go down to the lobby and take out whichever one he wants. And at the end of the week, they recollect the flyers and put in new flyers. No plastic bags whatsoever.
Thanks so much for the call. It's really good to speak with you. Charles Montpetit, maybe we should just sort of touch on this again for a second here. Do you have a sense of how this could work in apartment buildings?
We have a perfect sense of how it could work because newspapers and magazines who send out issues to their subscribers already use the subscription system. So it's a bit odd to hear people say that let's make an exception for Publisac. In their case, let's give it to everybody because I want it. I believe that if you want it, just like a newspaper or magazine, you should be able to get it without forcing everybody else to get it.
Well, I think what you're hearing is that a lot of people at least a significant group of people really count on it every week.
And I have no objection to that. Again, we don't want to ban the Publisac. And there's a bit of confusion because some people who are not affiliated with my group have started petition online that call for the ban of the Publisac. That is not our position. We are going for a subscription service, and we only want to ban the plastic bag itself.
Let's go back to our phones. Maybe one more call, maybe two more calls, but for sure, we're going to speak right now with Donald, who's in Pierrefonds. Hi, Donald.
Hi. I've got a lot of thoughts here. Obviously, in a time when, people are becoming more and more ecologically conscious, we can't have this kind of waste. And you see there is a lot of waste with the Publisac. But, we had some callers calling who don't want to see it, who go online. And, yeah, you have some people, younger people go online, but older people, I'm thinking about my mother who's 86 years old, and she looks forward to her Publisac. And the Publisac really guides all her shopping. But I think that Publisac, they probably smell the end of their business because, once you get rid of the older people who don't use the internet, I just can't see how their business model can survive. The retailers could simply have a link on their website for people to subscribe and automatically get all the PDFs. Why in the world, with technology, why would you want to have a middleman like Publisac? I think they're only there for the older people who can't use technology.
So you don't read the Publisac at all?
I'll look at it online. But like I said, my mother needs to touch, she's 86, she needs to touch a piece of paper, and she looks at every single page, and it guides her shopping. She's going to go to Maxi or she's going to go to Super Z, depending on what specials they have. And I look at the prices. Obviously, some people don't look at price when they buy things, they just buy anything. But, if you're looking at some of these specials and it's guiding your shopping, you can save quite a few dollars during the week.
Thank you so much for the call. Really good to speak with you.
Okay, bye.
I think that's it for a call. I was going to give out the phone numbers just like as a reflex because that is what I do. That's my main job here, give out the phone numbers. But no, we're out of time, so I'm not going to do that right now. But I will ask you, Charles Montpetit, to tell me a little bit more about your petition.
Okay, the Facebook page for it is Anti-Publisac, all in one word. And basically, what we want is for people to sign up in support of the two amendments that we are suggesting to the City of Montreal. That is, switch to a subscription service and let's get rid of the plastic wrapping. So if people agree with that, then please send us a little email note and we will convey your position to the City of Montreal. The city will be forced to act on it if we get 15,000 handwritten signatures. So this is why we need people to chime in, because we will send them the form that they will be able to sign.
Charles Montpetit, thank you for coming in. Appreciate it. Shawn Apel lives in Rosemont, and he is trying to see changes to the way that the Publisac is distributed. Thank you, everybody, for getting in touch here today. Our email address, it's radnoonm@cbc.ca.